Welcome back. Let's get back to this Davido story. So Davido, we covered it a few days ago, but it looks like people are still talking about it. But let's get into it. So apparently, Anu's mom, who's Anu? Anu is an alleged daughter of Davido from about 13 years ago. That he claims that he had done 5 DNA tests, and the DNA test came out negative, that he's not the father. Okay, for the record, that's what Davido had said. But Anu's mom is not resting, because this is what Anu's mom had to say. Let me just see, just in case. Let me see. Okay, this is Anu right here. Okay, this is Anu allegedly. We haven't seen actual talking motion picture of her. But we've seen pictures, and claims that she owns this page or pages. Anu Adeleke 001. So it says, "Good evening. We are heading to bed now. First things first, my name is Ayo Labinjo. I'm not Davido's baby mama." Hold on one second. Or a bitch. Jesus Christ. "I'm very protective of my daughter's mental health after the level of bullying she went through for years." But yet, you have your daughter out here leaving messages, at least the claim. Okay, that's arguable. Let's continue. "My daughter cried for days, fainted in school, and went through psychotherapy. I realize the story has now gone global again, and we have largely moved on. From some of the postings that I saw earlier on, it looked like the first time that they filed something was in 2014. Would that be correct? Let me see if I can see it. There's a date here. I'm not sure if it's 2000. Yeah, if you look at this, it's 2014. They put out a receipt of the original DNA test, and it was posted on Dr. Kemi Olunloyo's page or something like that from 2014, which means this baby would have been less than, how long ago is 2014? It was like 10 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago. So that means this baby would have been less than 1 year old. So that means you had the opportunity to also nurture that baby properly since then. So young lady, Labinjo, her name, Labinjo, right? Ayo, you might be just telling on yourself here, but hey, let's keep going. "My daughter cried for days, fainted in school, and went through therapy." That sounds like years after you first came out and said that Davido was the father. Okay, and then it was allegedly debunked by something you've alleged to be fake DNA, right? "I realize this story has now gone global again, and okay, Davido Adeleke has largely ignored me for years because he thought he picked up a prostitute from GQ Club in Ibadan. I was a waitress and not picked up on the streets. I come from a good home. My late father was a good man who worked more than betterment of Nigeria before he was poisoned." Wow. I guess he worked more than, okay, all right. "My daughter is a very tech-savvy, intelligent achiever. Well, she's 13 years old, so she should have been protected, even if you want to fight this. But I understand, again, it depends on where you come from, but you're trying to tell us where you're coming from right now, but it's still not looking good. Let's see. "I have no friends. I keep no friends, and nobody in school is allowed to discuss our family with her. To my shock, she was trending on X because her dad needed to call me a bitch that he's never met, yet he subjected himself to a DNA test 5 times. That's a good point, with a question mark. Okay, so Davido said, "I never met this person." I'll get back to that one later on. So last time it was his lawyer Bobo Ajudua who brainwashed Nigerians that there were 2 tests done, and I chose the hospital. Dr. Deji Adeleke took us to a lab, not a hospital, where Anu's blood was drawn in 2014, then discarded behind our backs, and fake results was printed." Okay, Dr. Deji would be, I think that would be Davido's father. "Wale Shobola was the lab technician who masked as Dr. Alex, and a brother to Shotayo Gaga, a Nollywood actress." Sound like she's been around the industry. She knows some people. Anyway, "Was the one who wrote an epistle on his page 3 years ago that he never did a test for Anu." Okay, so and discarded the blood drawn, blaming the wickedness for his life's travails. "We wasted our time, disrupted Anu's mental." So there's some claim over there that the guy who was supposed to be the doctor had actually came out and posted some kind of epistle. I don't know if Is that what I'm picking up? Okay, let's keep going. I'm reading this in real time with you, so follow along, guys. We wasted our time, disrupted Anu's mental health. Then they lied that we did 2 tests. Well, again, Anu would have been less than 2 years old at that time. So a lot of this claim sounds like manipulation so far. A lot of it, okay? I don't know if it's true or not. Davido is saying it is not true. He doesn't know you, okay? My daughter is fighting for her identity. Okay, identity is a real thing that we all need to pay attention to, okay? Davido chatted my daughter tonight, threatening to lock me up, choosing Anu, cursing Anu, and repeatedly bullying her. Davido is a U.S. citizen. I will request the U.S. State Department to contact the embassy in Lagos or Abuja to help us supervise and witness a clean, independent DNA test. Who is teaching this girl? They are delusional. I will not say much for now. You know, everybody always think like, oh, we're just going to go to the DNA and go to this and go and do this and do that. Especially in the US, they don't take nonsense. US, they take nonsense. So let me just warn you right now, okay? Yeah, I know. US is a beautiful place, okay? United States is a developed country, but they have their flaws. And yes, they do take nonsense, okay? They just have a tendency to wrap it up in especially and make it look a certain way until, of course, you know, until the Baba we did the White House right now is a little bit different, slightly different, but still, you know, it's not bold in your face like bully right in your face, right? But US has history. Go and read US history, okay? I will not say much for now. The language used was hurtful. My daughter did not beg to be here. Saying you've never met me or telling your family that I was a prostitute is wrong. Bullying my daughter is wrong. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let me make sure I don't have any videos to play here. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Good. Let me see here. Her father was a doctor, an academic at the university. Her father was a doctor, according to Daddy Freeze. Okay, so her father, so she came from a good home. Apparently, right? I know that the Freeze was saying some things, but I didn't really get a chance to pick up that story. But let me see. I might be able to pick that up real quick. Let's see. That the Freeze was saying something here. Let's see. Okay. I won't be able to see because I lost my audio. Okay, maybe on the next one. But let me just say this about this young lady again. This young girl who had a baby allegedly for Davido is going to be a rough road ahead for her. We don't know, okay? Davido, the way Davido has responded, which I'll cover later on, is a little bit weird. It almost looked like somebody who is guilty, okay? But let me speak about her for a second here. She's put out the story right now. I understand. I was on Uncle Bendo's show yesterday, and I said I understand that sometimes when you're fighting against a behemoth like Davido, like somebody, like a brand, like a multi-million-dollar brand like Davido, sometimes you don't really have much choice than to go to the media. Because again, sometimes we're very quick to say, hey, don't go to the media. I do say that too. If this is between you and your husband and you're in the same house, don't go to the media. You have better options than going to the media and dragging your own family or being disrespectful to yourself by going to the media, because you actually still have the opportunity to contain things. But if you are somebody that has been blocked by a superstar, by a corporation, sort of like a Dangote or a big company, and they've kind of blocked you, or they've used like they've oppressed you, if you feel that way, the reality is that sometimes you don't have any other options than the media to yell at, because they don't have a choice than to answer to the media if it's going to mess their reputation up, or answer to the court, but also we know how Nigerian court systems work, so that might take forever. So I understand where she's coming from, but a lot of what I saw in that story sound like manipulation. But also sometimes you will do all kind of manipulative stuff even if you're telling the truth. So I'm not going to write her off. I don't know. We don't know what the future of this story is going to become. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. But this story is not going to end here. It's going to go on for a while. We'll see how it goes. It might go dead again and come back again 5 years later on. So Davido, I would advise him to do the needful to clean this up, even if that means he's not the father. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. We have some other trendy stories around the world. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.